I love baseball cards. Got 'em, need 'em, got 'em, need 'em, need 'em, need 'em, got 'em, need 'em.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports. This is a recent pickups video, with the exception there's a small asterisk behind that. One of the items that I found recently I did not purchase, but I recently refound, and I forgot that I bought this, and I'd say probably about 2 years ago, and I put it on one of my desks, and the pile just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and finally I got around to doing some cleaning, and I'm like, oh, look at that. An autograph that I forgot that I bought. So all of these autographs, well, not all of them, but all of them are Hall of Fame related, Basketball Hall of Fame, as well as Baseball Hall of Fame. So we will jump right into this, and I'll kind of share with what I paid for these, and you guys can tell me your comments and what you think. All right, these first two items came in the same package, and I want to say I paid roughly around $20 for the pair. And the first item that I want to share is, and I'm going to hold my finger over the address, is a Sports Illustrated signed by Richie Guerin that also features Jeff Mullins. And Mr. Mullins does sign TTM, so I probably will send to him through the mail here in the near future. Doing my best to try to cover this up, but it's not cooperating. So I don't know if this mailing address from 1976 is still valid, or I'm sorry, 1969. This is March 24th, 1969, but I definitely do not want to put somebody's personal address on here off of a label off of SI. So I'll show that to you in a second. And the second part of that is a set of postcards from the Amazing Mets that is autographed by announcer and Hall of Famer Ralph Kiner. The other autograph is one of the coaches, Joe Pignatano, who was one of the coaches on the 69 Mets, and the unsigned ones are an Eddie Yost, who is Ned Yost's father, but unfortunately he has passed on, and Al Weiss, who is still living and a very good TTM signer. So I'm probably going to send this postcard to Al Weiss to get the autograph, but I was more interested in getting the Ralph Kiner autograph than anything. If you don't know who Ralph Kiner is, he was one of the greatest Pittsburgh Pirates ever to play baseball. The guy could crush baseballs. I mean, he had some amazing seasons with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and due to a ailment, I want to say, in his back, he was forced to prematurely retire. And after he retired, one of the jobs that he had was doing broadcasts for the New York Mets for many, many years. So when I saw this on eBay for next to nothing, I mean, this lot was like $7, I want to say. And I'm like, to get a Hall of Famer like Ralph Kiner on a unique postcard like this, how can you pass that up? And double that with the Sports Illustrated signed by Richie Guerin. So, again, I'm trying to cover this address up the best that I can. So we will use the Mets. Sorry, let me use my sign there. But I will kind of do something like this to kind of cover up the address a little bit, and we'll kind of play around with the camera so you can look at it. So the Sports Illustrated was dated from 1969, and it features an autograph with Richie Guerin on it. I did not get this through the mail. I purchased this off of eBay, like I said. And the biggest reason I bought it is because I saw Jeff Mullins also signs through the mail. So I'm most likely going to send this through the mail to Mr. Mullins and ask him to complete it. So stay tuned. You may see that in a future TTM Thursday video. But Richie Guerin, if you don't know who he is, he was a Hall of Fame basketball player. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2013, I believe. He primarily played for the New York Knicks, but he also was a player coach with the St. Louis / Atlanta Hawks. So he is one of the most noteworthy winningest coaches in Atlanta Hawks, St. Louis Hawks history. I have pointed that out in one of my NBA 2K videos that I've actually selected him as the player coach. If you have NBA 2K19, Richie is actually featured on the New York Knicks all-time roster, so you can play as Richie Guerin if you choose to do so. So pretty cool to have that Hall of Famer that I did not have in my collection on a Sports Illustrated from 1969. I mean, this issue, I mean, is 50 years old. I mean, this issue is going to be 50 years old in March. How crazy is that? All right, so this next item, I had to laugh at myself for being so unorganized, I guess you would call it. And I was going through a pile of mail on my desk that I don't use too often. You know, it's kind of like a standalone desk that I put in the corner, and it's kind of the catch-all desk would be the best way to put it. We, you know, keep our mail there. We keep our, you know, mailing supplies like our stamps and our envelopes and stuff like that sitting on it. So over time, it's accumulated kind of a pile. So I decided to start cleaning it up, and I open up a bubble mailer, and I'm like, wow, I totally forgot I bought that. Don't you just love it when you find stuff that you forgot you bought? But what that item was, and I wish I could tell you how much I paid for this, because I do not remember, but I want to say it was very affordable, like $15. You know, it wasn't breaking the bank by any means. But this is a 1984 Star Steve Carlton signed set panel of uncut cards. And I say set. The top card, as you can see, is signed, and it is numbered to 463. And this was the method in 1984, at least, that Star Company used to authenticate their cards. In other words, they would say, order the Star Company set, and only 5,000 of these will be signed, and then they would pay the player to sign off on these, and not only sign them, but individually number these. So I can't attest that Steve Carlton wrote that number. Maybe his wife did, or his daughter, son, whatever, family member, but they actually hand wrote the numbered cards. You know, maybe Steve Carlton did that, maybe somebody else did, I don't know. So anyways, the top card is a uncut sheet that is signed, and it talks about his career stats, but in addition to that, I have the rest of the set as well, unautographed. You know, all the milestones that he reached in his career. You know, I mean, this is a pretty cool little set to have. Actually, after looking at this, there's some duplicates in there. Yeah, these two are the same card, so this is more than a set, actually. I guess the person that sent these to me was like, ah, whatever, just send them all. So, unfortunately, there's no duplicates of the top card, but there's a couple duplicates in here. For example, oh, I guess that is the only duplicate one, but not a bad pickup for only like 15 bucks. You know, for a Hall of Famer like Steve Carlton, you know, this is an immaculate deal in my opinion. You know, his autograph pricing has only gone up through the years, so to find an authentic Steve Carlton autograph for only like 15 bucks is going to be hard pressed to do nowadays. So you just wonder sometimes what you're thinking when you lose stuff and you just completely forget that you find. But in closing, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, sorry about the address shuffling around there on the Sports Illustrated, but like I said, I don't like the idea of sharing people's addresses, even though they are 50 years old, you know, the address. if that person was 20 years old in 1950, now they're, 70. So there's a possibility they still could live there or their family. So, very nice addition to the collection with all these. I thank you for taking the time to join me, on some more videos of me showing off some of my stuff. Always glad to add Hall of Fame autographs to the collection. Look forward to your comments below, and thanks for watching another episode.